Yeah. Hey up, Rayvers. Denise has had some friends round. She bought a load of posh biscuits for them. But they're always too polite to eat them, so it means I get to eat them all. Get in. Yeah, they look great. Anyway, today we're heading into a world of spies and espionage as we take a look at the Ipcress file. Yeah. Yes, the Ipcress file. Peak 1960s Michael Caine. As you can see, he's sporting them very natty NHS spectacles, ain't he? And Caine plays British agent Harry Palmer, a former British Army sergeant with a bit of a dodgy past, who, according to his superiors, is a little bit insubordinate.
And don't slouch into mouths like a pregnant camel. Stand to attention.
But Palmer comes across as a likeable geezer. He ain't a spy like James Bond. He's a more regular bloke. Calls women birds, stuff like that.
You also like books, music, cooking?
I like birds best.
And he's a modern man, you know, he's handy in the kitchen. Fancies his son's a bit of a gourmet. I don't really know what gourmet means, but yeah, I'm guessing he is one. He'd definitely have the posh biscuits. You won't find any McVitie's in his cupboards. No, he'd get the posh ones.
If you want button mushrooms, you'll get better value on the next shelf.
It's not just the label. These do have a better flavour.
Now, the British Ministry of Defence has a bit of a problem on their hands because this top British scientist hops on a train, but then disappears.
Dr. Radcliffe, you forgot your camera. Where's Dr. Radcliffe?
Kidnapped by Duncan Goodhue. And apparently he ain't the only one. The British are experiencing a brain drain. So Harry Palmer is tasked with investigating it. And he's reassigned to a new unit led by Major Dolby, played with commanding authority by Nigel Green. Saw Nigel Green last week, didn't we? He's very good in this. Comes across as being harsh but fair. Anyway, Palmer manages to track down Duncan Goodhue and the bloke he works for, because we want to try and negotiate a deal to get this scientist back. But Goodhue and his boss are having none of it, and after Goodhue stalls at Palmer by having a scrap with him, they do a runner, just outside the Royal Albert Hall, incidentally. Lovely building that, taking Denise there for a concert. It was great. Had an ice cream tub. So it requires Harry Palmer and his mate, played by Gordon Jackson, to do some more detective work and try and find out what's cracking off.
Ipcress? What? It's got Ipcress written on it.
Anyway, they eventually manage to arrange an exchange and pay a ransom to get this scientist back. But the problem is, whilst the scientist appears physically healthy, they've obviously done some sort of mind control on him, because his brain is mush and he can't remember anything sciencey anymore.
A new Meson production method.
Dr. Radcliffe, are you all right?
Now, Gordon Jackson susses out what the problem is.
Look again, boy. Ipcress.
Ipcress.
Now, that's a bit blooming tenuous for me, that. He's been very selective where he's got his letters from for his acronym. I mean, he could have just as easily spelled shite. Now, what happens next is one of them classic film tropes, ain't it? As Gordon Jackson goes, "Oh, this is really important. I need to tell somebody about this right away." And then before you know it, he's dead. Anyway, inevitably, the baddies nab Harry Palmer and all. And he wakes up in a prison cell in Albania. And this is perhaps one of the film's most talked about sequences here, as after the guards have softened him up a bit, he's exposed to brainwashing. And it's provoked quite a lot of comment, this depiction of brainwashing. Yeah, they pop in a metal box where they project all this sort of psychedelic imagery to disorientate him. And they play these really loud electronic sounds, which sound like something out of Doctor Who. Probably designed to reprogram your brainwaves or something. Just be thankful they weren't at the same resonant frequency as his bowels or bladder and the Puda Weeder said. So, you know, you should count his lucky stars there, shouldn't you? And then after they've really softened him up, the baddies try to program him with these trigger phrases.
Now listen to me. Listen to me.
That will make him all malleable, and he'll do whatever the baddies tell him to do whenever they say the phrase.
When I hear the voice saying, now listen to me, I will obey.
And after being held captive for the best part of 2 weeks and being subjected to all this torture and mind control stuff, Palmer somehow summons the strength to overpower his captors and escape. But then instead of being in Albania, it turns out they were pulling his plonker and he were in London the whole time. Now, it weren't just Harry Palmer what were disorientated by the imagery, because in this film the director makes an artistic choice to have loads of weird arty camera angles, and it disorientates you, the viewer, a little bit, because there's something unnerving about it, something that makes you feel uneasy, what with everything on the wonk. Very effective technique, I think. And I think perhaps due to the sense of unease that the director's able to create, it means you don't know who Harry Palmer can trust, you don't know who the baddies are. Because the crescendo is revealed that Nigel Green is the baddie. I thought he were alright, I thought he were a decent bloke, but no. And he tries to do the brainwashing on Harry Palmer again.
Now listen to me.
Listen to me.
Now listen to me. Listen to me. Shoot Ross.
But Harry Palmer's having none of it. Yeah, there you go. Now, following the success of the Ipcress file, they did a few sequels inevitably, didn't they? First one was Funeral in Berlin. Now, I tried my best to follow this one, but I got confused.
In Ordnung. Komm, pass on.
Right, so who's supposed to be in this coffin then? Who's that?
You bastard, you!
What? I don't understand what's happening there now. What's going on now? Why has he done that? Who's he working for then? Who the bloody hell's that? What? Who are they? Who's she? What the f*** is going on? And then they had one called The $1 Billion Brain. This one were like one of them crap James Bonds, just too far-fetched, it was stupid. Don't remember much about it other than the fact it was crap. And then I think he came back to the character in the 90s, did Michael Caine, did a couple more Harry Palmer films, but I ain't seen them, so I don't know if they're any good or not. Rayvers, if you've seen them, let me know. And apparently there's a new series on ITV at the moment of the Ipcress file. I couldn't really be bothered to watch it, but I've heard it's good. So again, if you think it's worth my time, let me know, and I might give it a gander. Any road, on to Ray's ratings. Well, I'm looking forward to this. A load of good people in it. Can't beat Michael Caine, Nigel Green, Gordon Jackson, Duncan Goodyear, loads of good folk in it. So we're hoping for a 4-star film. And it didn't disappoint. I reckon it's a terrific film. I still love watching it now. Funeral in Berlin, $1 Billion Brain, no. I didn't really get on with them, no. But this, I thought it was great. So I'm rating the Ipcress file a 4-star film. Now, watching it back, I was curious. Were there any truth to the brainwashing techniques that were represented in film? So I thought it was the perfect time for another edition of Ickle Ray's Reality Check. Okeydoo. Right, Ickle Ray.
Oh, Raymondo.
Any truth in the portrayal of the brainwashing sequence in the Ipcress file?
Well, there's a very interesting article written by Dr Marcia Holmes from the University of London entitled Brainwashing the Cybernetic Spectator, the Ipcress File, 1960s Cinematic Spectacle and the Sciences of Mind.
Ooh.
And in her in-depth article, she theorises that most of the innovations demonstrated in the film, such as the enclosed space, the droning rhythms and flashing lights of the brainwashing device, are more typically construed as part of 1960s psychedelic counterculture, And she goes on to argue that the imagery was encouraged and informed by developments in mass visual media, counterculture art and the mind sciences, as opposed to actually being embedded in reality.
Oh, right. So is it real, though? Could I get brainwashed?
Now, that depiction is more fantasy than reality, Raymondo.
That's your relief, because, you know, I won't want to be exposed to brainwashing.
No. Yeah, don't worry about it. Load of cobblers, Raymondo.
Oh, good out, yeah.
Now listen to me. Listen to me. You will give me all of the posh biscuits. Listen to me. You will give me all of the posh biscuits.
I will give you all of the posh biscuits.
You will not remember that there were any posh biscuits.
I won't remember that there were any posh biscuits.
Now listen to me. Listen to me. Go and fetch the posh biscuits now.
I will go and fetch the posh biscuits now.
Don't worry, Rayvers. Raymondo will be fine. I'll reprogram him. And I will save him some posh biscuits. I won't teach all of them. It's just that he doesn't share them. I just felt the need to teach him a lesson. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed his review this week. So remember to poke the like button for him, share Ray reviews with your mates, and subscribe to his channel if you ain't already. And Raymondo will be back next time. I don't know what he's got in store for you, but he will be back. And I will see you lot when I see you. Toodle pip.